Guys, let's take a look at this Avi-8 p51 Mustang. So this thing's been bouncing around. I'm not even sure who owns it at this point. I think my buddy, fellow Patreon, Craig, actually owns it. Picked it up from Dane, who sent it to Dirk. And I don't know, this thing's getting passed around. A bit of a mini watch tour, I guess we could say. But it made its way to me, and I have to say, I don't get a chance to see a ton of the Avi-8 watches. I know they're out there in circulation and they're making a bunch of really cool models in colorway. In this colorway, or this model alone, I think there's like 3 or 4 colorways. I know there's like a green one, and then there's this black with the red. But a lot of styling cues are taken from the p51 Mustang, the aircraft, piston-driven World War II era aircraft, such as the holes here. These are to simulate like the exhaust that comes out of the aircraft, and then like the some of the dial features and the font and everything are all items that you would see, styled from the p51 Mustang. So that is a thing for sure. You have a, best I can tell, this should be an NH35 date automatic Seiko movement, and you can see it has a nice display case back there with a little military star there in the center. That's kind of cool. It doesn't obstruct the view of the movement so much as it adds a little bit of ornament and just kind of covers up that center screw that would hold the rotor down. So it doesn't really take away much, and it's got a really cool like blue. If you catch it like that, it's got a little bit of blue with the white, so pretty fun. I think I'm okay with that. It's when they put it all over the whole case back, it doesn't make sense to me if they're going to do a display. But case size on this, I measured the actual bezel on top. That way I didn't have to worry about the like bolted on crown protector. So that's essentially the width of the watch is going to be 43 millimeter. So that's not including this guy here. And then the lug tip is a 50 millimeter, and you can see really nice polished, brushed on top of the lugs. And you have a nice belly curve to the case. Gives it a really nice clean look, I think. I'm a big fan of when they belly them out like that instead of being very dramatic. 13 millimeter thick. You have a domed sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating on it. It is a single dome. You can see the distortion you get on the dial when you start to curve it. 22 millimeter lug width here. Comes on this leather strap, which I think I pointed out in one of my live streams. Very similar to the Zurich strap that I had ordered in. I really like that, where it's like pillowed up, like a cushion strap, but then it's separated with thread. It kind of gives it a nice, cool look, I think. Also comes with this heavy-duty military type Velcro strap, which I did not put the watch on. I'm sure it would wear fine once you get it broken in, but it's pretty stiff. But something pretty cool. Maybe that's a little bit longer or bigger. You could go over cuff or something. I'm not really sure. So this piece here, you can see fully shrouds over the crown. It's still, because the crown is oversized, it's still easy to operate. So that's it. You're hacked, and then you can set the time. And then, a single pop would be able to set the date. You can push it back in. Well, I moved that, but it's not a screw down crown, so you're going to be in the winding position right there. But it's fully protected, so pretty cool, pretty slick design. And you can see a really nice, easy to read broad handset there. And then of course the 0030609 is done in a sandwich dial. And then you also have this outer chapter ring here incorporates the indices. So they're not really applied indices so much as they are punched out in that chapter. So that gives it even more dimension. You have some faux screws, I'm assuming faux screws, also applied, and then you have a plate. Let's zoom in because there's a lot of things going on this dial here. So you have that plate there where the 0906 and the automatic are and all that good stuff. That's got a little bit of brushing on it. And then of course the printing. So it's pretty wild, all the dimensions that are on this. I'm just noticing that it looks like, I could be wrong, it's hard to tell if that plate is actually part of the chapter too. I think it might be. That's pretty slick. If that's the case, those screws could actually be real to hold it onto the lower plate. I'm not going to take the thing apart to find out, but it's pretty slick nonetheless. You also have another ID plate there with the beat rate of the movement. That's the beat rate for a Seiko movement, if you're not aware, 21,600. You also have a red date wheel, very cool. Also ties in with the other red accents on the dial. Just a lot going on. The brushing is really nice. I really like the case shape. I'm also a big fan of that, I pointed out earlier. So let's pop this guy on wrist, and then we'll do a Lume shot. If you're interested in, the strap is so dang comfortable. I mean, it feels broken in already. It is so good. There it is on my 7¼ inch wrist. You know, it's kind of a flight pilot style type watch, so it's going to be a little more wrist presence, a little larger dial on there. But if you're interested in some facts on the p51 Mustang, they're actually printed on the back of this metal card. So very, very cool as well. So let me pop this guy off. Actually has a signed buckle there too. The strap is crazy comfortable. All right, so here it is next to a Seiko SKX, just for a size comparison. So now we can do a Lume shot. It actually comes in a really cool box too. It's almost like kind of like a Foot Locker type looking box. It's pretty slick. So let's check out the Lume. I believe it might be C3. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, jeez. I always forget to move that monster out of the way. It's so overpowered. I'm not sure what Lume they're using. On my video feed here, it looks almost a little bluish, so it could be BGW9. I'm not 100% sure what Lume they're using. I didn't see the details on the website. I will put a link to the website in the description of this video so you guys can read up more and see the other colorways for sure. But I want to say big thanks to Craig and Dane and Dirk for all being involved with getting this watch to me so I can check it out and share it with you guys. But the Avi-8 automatic watches look like they're really good. So, oh, fair price too. I'm sure there's like some sort of deals or discounts out there. You guys can try to find those yourself. But just the straight up price on it right now, if you go to their website, is $355. So it's definitely under the $500 comfortable mark. So if it's something that fits like what you're looking for, the style, or if you just want to have some fun or something like that, still not a bad price. Certainly if you could get the thing under $300, that would be even better. But I'm not sure what kind of deals there are out there on them. So, all right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next vid.